Pastrnak, hat trick! Damn, now I gotta clean up all this pasta. Or I could just ignore it like the Red Wings defense. He better not score that many hat tricks this year. I'm gonna be cleaning up a lot of pasta. What a waste of all this good pasta. Boston wins 8-2 against the Detroit Red Wings. This win on Saturday, it's now Sunday when I'm filming, is exactly what the Bruins needed. The Bruins, yes, their first line can score, but the second line and third line got on the board today, which is what I've been looking for because I know what the first line can do. We know what they are, but the second and third line finally got what they needed, and that was goals. I didn't even bother doing the game log with all the scoring summaries because it was just too long. My board's just not big enough. But Bergeron 3 assists, Marchand 2 assists, Pasta with a hattie, nice. Bjork a goal and assist, DeBrusk 2 goals, Krejci 2 assists, and Brandon Carlo, offensive juggernaut, 2 assists, made up for missing the empty net in the last game, I guess, but still, those are your multi-point games, and you love to see that many multi-point games. Now, usually I go over in these videos all the goals, how they happened, but I feel like after an 8-2 victory like this, it would be kind of repetitive. Like, all of Pastrnak goals are just snipes. Let me just do it this way. Marchand passes to Pastrnak, snipe. Bergeron passes to Pastrnak, snipe. It's just, that's how it was. I mean, the 2-on-1 with Marchand and Pastrnak, the tic-tac-toe for the third goal, beautiful. Other goals that were pretty beautiful, Jake DeBrusk goal, hard-working shift. Krejci hits him up with a nice through pass to the middle, leads him into a breakaway. Underrated pass by Krejci, didn't see too many people complimenting that on Twitter. Great finish by DeBrusk, and he earned that goal. Jake DeBrusk finally getting on the score sheet is the thing I want to see most today. Kid's been working hard, he just hadn't been rewarded on the score sheet. Today that changed, and he got on it twice with 2 goals. You love to see it. Another guy who worked his tail off today was Anders Bjork. Great game all around, hardworking. He also got rewarded on the score sheet, and he definitely deserved to be there, kind of like DeBrusk. Both worked hard, both played great, both are great depth forwards when they're going, and both of them were going today. But at the same time, it is Detroit, so I mean, probably the worst team in the East, I'd say at this point. I mean, if you watch that game, whew, and their record doesn't really go against what I just said, worst team in the East. They're 0-3-2, have yet to win. I've watched 3 of their games this year, actually, because they had some late games, and I'm kind of a night owl, and I'll just have my laptop open watching games. I saw them lose to the Ducks, and I can't remember who they played in the other game, but they also lost, as you can tell by the fact they don't have a win. So that's why I'm not like up here like, woo, Bruins and all that, because you're winning games, you should win. There's no excitement about beating Detroit, as much as I hate to say that, but the excitement comes with who scored, how many goals you score, and it was just a clinic today. Also, the only 2 goals we let up, like one was Dylan Larkin basically jumped the play a little. He predicted where the puck was going to be, picked the puck up off the boards, took it in and used John Moore as a screen and snipe. Great shot by Dylan Larkin. He's one of the most entertaining players to watch because he's literally doing it all on his own. He has no help there at all. The other Detroit goal came on basically a 5-on-3, technically 5-on-4, but to be honest, like, the guy was like halfway out the box when it just became a 5-on-4, which kind of helped us because then it was back to even strength. But like, the goals against, like, they weren't too bad, and you know, when you're up by that many goals, I think they didn't score until we were up 4-0. You kind of relax a little. I know, like, you hate to see teams do that, but it happens in the regular season, and you know, it didn't really cost us much, and you were never scared of the Red Wings being in this game, ever. There was never a moment where you're like, oh no, here comes the Red Wings. They just didn't have it. They were slower. Not for the first period, though. The first period, we actually got outplayed a little bit. But a second and beyond, and the fact we left the first period with a 1-0 lead and then put up 7 goals in the second and third, that's just, they just flicked the switch after that bad first period. If Detroit wanted to have a shot in this game, they would have had to score in the first, and they didn't, and that bit them in the end. Fun fact, Detroit has not won in Boston in 5 years. It has been pure domination. So I think what we have in Boston now is a healthy goalie competition. You have Tuukka Rask, who stopped 32 of 34 shots against the Red Wings, and then you have Jaroslav Halak, who's just been a monster in net. And when your starter's being pushed to be better than he is, that's a good thing, in my opinion. A healthy competition makes both guys work extra hard to be the best they can be, because I bet they both want to be starters, and when you have that type of drive going in to your performances, when you're putting in that type of work to be the best, you get better results, just like Rask had last year with Hudobin pushing him. So I think this is going to benefit us greatly in the long run. Okay, since we have a shorter review, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to go over some point totals for the whole year and goaltender stats and what the Bruins look like, their position, all that fun stuff. Right now, the Bruins are 4-1, sitting in a good spot. The schedule's been fairly easy, so, not really sure how to gauge this team yet because they haven't beat a playoff team from last year yet. The only one they faced is Washington, and that didn't go too well. So I'm not getting extremely excited. I'm happy with what they've done because 4-1 is a very acceptable and good start, and there are no easy wins in the NHL. Second in the Atlantic, only behind Toronto. Toronto has one more win than us. They played one more game, so, kind of neck and neck. Tampa's only played 3 games. They're 2-1, so hard to really judge where we stand amongst those teams. It's way too early. Points-wise, Bergeron's standalone. He's by himself in 3rd in the league in scoring right now. Insane two-way player, but he gets it done on both ends of the ice as efficiently as he does. 5 goals, 6 assists. Fantastic. He's just creating plays, scoring goals, doing it all. Marchand is tied for 4th in the league with a few Leafs. Tyler Seguin, he would look nice on the second line. Anyway, he's tied for 4th with 10 points, 1 goal, 9 assists. Very Joe Thornton looking like stat line with a few goals and a ton of assists. Pastrnak, who has the opposite, he's got like a baseball record type stat line right now with 7-2, 7 goals, 2 assists. He's 2nd in the league in goals behind that guy named Austin Matthews for the Leafs, who is also leading the league in points right now. He's having a decent start, decent player. 9 points for Pastrnak, which means he's tied for 9th in the league in scoring right now. And then you drop to McAvoy, who has 5 points in 5 games, point per game defenseman. Can't complain about anything there. He's looked solid on both ends of the ice so far. Love Charlie McAvoy. He's a stud. David Krejci, who I think gets criminally underrated by Bruins fans just because he's been such a constant, solid player for so long. And he's getting a little older. I think people are starting to disrespect him a little. He's still got the great playmaking ability, as you saw with the pass to Jake DeBrusk on the goal today. Or yesterday, now it is against Detroit. Very underrated player in my opinion. Solid second line center. Obviously you want a little more when you're in the same division as a team with Austin Matthews and John Tavares, but it's good. The Bruins' depth so far early on, none of them have stepped up as huge point getters, but I think after a day like today, that might change a little. When you get a little spark, you get that first point like a Jake DeBrusk or Anders Bjork, you might just skyrocket up the points board. And hopefully for one of the players, maybe even a Ryan Donato who had a solid game, one of them takes a leap, and hopefully I would love to see one of them pop up on this board because that means their depth is really clicking. But for now, not too much out of them, but I think they're about to take that next step. All right, now we look at goaltending. You got Tuukka Rask, who has 2-1. He's been solid. He's had one bad game, which makes his stats look absolutely terrible. 4.07 goals against and a .881 save percentage. 40 games in the season, you'd say he should probably be in the AHL. But when you only have 3 games and one of them you get killed 7-0 and you get absolutely murdered, it's not going to look good. Halak's 2-0 and has those Vezina-like numbers, opposite side of the spectrum of Tuukka, where small sample size makes he look terrible, small sample size here makes him look outstanding, which he has been. 1.18 goals against, .961 save percentage. If he didn't relieve Tuukka against Washington, those numbers would probably be better, which is scary to think. He's let in 1 goal in his 2 starts. So that's all I got for the Bruins fan reaction today. Nice 8-2 win against Detroit. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. I like the support. If you really like my content, you like my coverage of the Bruins and all things NHL, hit the subscribe button to follow me. And I'll see you next time. Peace. Like the video, Ray? I like the video. Comment on the video, Ray? You usually leave a comment, Ray. Ray, you subscribe? I think you should subscribe, Ray. It's pretty good coverage.